Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am your science teacher from Crescent School. The chapter which is going on is friction, and in this chapter, the today's topic is water resistance. In your previous topics, we learn more about air resistance. What is air resistance? How can we reduce air resistance? And uh, we know that um the larger the object, greater the air resistance. And air resistance can be increased by increasing the surface area of an object. Now here today our topic of discussion is water resistance. For this I have a video for you for your better understanding. I think after watching this video all of you must know about the difference between air resistance and water resistance. First of all, watch the video carefully.
Does friction exist only between solid parts? Not necessarily. Friction is offered by fluids like air and water as well. And this force of friction due to fluids is referred to as a fluid friction. The friction we've seen between solid parts is referred to as dry friction. The major states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. And liquids and gases are generally referred to as fluids. Why are liquids and gases considered to be fluids? One common characteristic of fluids is that they have no fixed shape and can be easily deformed. Let's discuss a bit more about fluid friction in this lesson. Just like solids, fluids too exert a force of friction when objects move through them. Do you think air offers resistance? Doesn't seem intuitive, right? When I drop a stone from a particular height, it falls to the ground. Does air offer resistance here? Of course it does. What about water? Does it offer resistance? Yes, when the fish swim, they encounter fluid resistance from the water. The frictional force exerted by fluids is also referred to as drag. What does fluid friction depend on? Let's talk about the first obvious factor. It's the nature of the fluid. To understand this point, you just need to answer a simple question. An object moves from point A to B through air, and in the second case, a similar object travels from A to B through water. Which object do you think encounters more resistance? Clearly, it will be the water, right? Yes, more the thickness of the fluid, greater will be the frictional force acting on an object which moves through it. There's a term which describes a fluid's resistance to flow. It's called viscosity. So here we can say that the water is more viscous than air. Higher the viscosity, more will be the resistance offered by that fluid. Honey is more viscous than water, which is why it offers more friction than water. That was the first factor affecting fluid friction, the nature of the fluid. Can you think of any other factor? Another factor is the speed with which the object is traveling. Higher the speed of the object moving through a fluid, greater will be the frictional force acting on it. A vehicle traveling at 100 miles per hour will face more drag of air as compared to a similar vehicle traveling at 50 miles per hour. Apart from the nature of the fluid and the speed with which the object is traveling, is there any other factor on which fluid friction depends on? Yes, it also depends on the shape of the object. And it's really important that we understand this factor well. Have you ever thought about why aeroplanes are shaped like this? It could just have been a rectangular box flying in the air. How have the fish evolved to be shaped like this? Why are the ships designed to be given this shape? There's a reason for all this. They're given a streamlined shape to minimize the fluid friction. The shape of the aeroplane, if you notice, is like that of a bird. This process of giving an object a particular shape to decrease the fluid friction is known as streamlining. Streamlining the object can greatly reduce the offered by the fluid. A car faces lesser friction from air as it has a streamlined shape. A bus, on the other hand, will face more air friction as it doesn't have a streamlined shape. So these were the different factors on which fluid friction depends. Nature of the fluid, the speed of the object flowing through the fluid, and the shape of the object.
Yes, dear students, I know that all of you, after watching this video, you learn about nature of fluid. Fluid means liquid. Force of friction depend upon number 1 nature of the liquid, number 2 shape of the liquid, number 3 speed of the object. Now here I want to discuss the definition of water resistance, because here the fluid is water. The resistance between the objects and surrounding water is called water resistance. Water resistance is larger than the air resistance. All of you do experiment given on page number 83 on your science book for your better understanding. This experiment is not so difficult for you. Now students, tell me that why it is very difficult to walk in the water and why it is easy to walk on the road. Yes, it is because of water resistance which make us difficult to walk in water, and the amount of resistance is lower on the road which allow us to walk easily on the ground. That is why the swimmers face more resistance while swimming in the water and as compared to the man walking on the road, because water perform or resist more as compared to air. Here I have a question. How can we reduce friction? Yes, we can reduce friction by giving streamlined shapes. For example, fish and boats have streamlined shapes, so they can move faster through water just because of this shape. Now here I have a written task for you for your more practice. All of you do these questions on your copy and draw the relevant pictures on your blank page. Question number 1 is, what is water resistance? And question number 2 is, how can we reduce water resistance? Do these questions on your copies. I think all of you understand this topic clearly, and after watching this video you are able to do these questions. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. See you tomorrow.